Hello everybody, I hope you're going well. Today I'm just going to show you a game that I played during the European Amateur Chess Championship in Croatia, Zagreb. And I played against a compatriot from me. I played against a Polish player, his name is Jacek. We know us pretty well right now because we have spoken together, we have analyzed together, we had like small talks and so we know us pretty cool. If he's there, uh, dziękuję bardzo za tą partię, jest naprawdę super. And now, I played with the black pieces, so I have to turn the chessboard. I had to win with the black pieces, and that is not easy. So I decided to play a very unique and very rare line in the Reti opening. It is pretty funny because we do have the same opening repertoire, so I just have to know what I don't like to play against with the white pieces in order to find my preparation direction for my opponent. So he played knight f3, I played knight f6, g3, g6, b3, bishop b7, bishop g2, b5, bishop g2, bishop b7. The idea of b3 and b5 is that we just want to play against these bishops, and when the knight will move, we will just trade the bishops. Why b6 and not b5? b5, the idea is that after c4 I can trade or play b5 like I did in the game. Castle, castle, c4, b5, before. And right now we have a pretty unique position after d4, d5. I had this position 3 or 4 times with the white pieces, so I do have some idea on this move. I know that knight c2 is a mistake. The best move is just to take and play e4. And after bishop takes, you will just play a3 and having the c3 square free, or rook e1, e4. So in every case, he played knight d2 first, I played knight b7, and he played rook c1. And here I had the preparation, and my preparation was c5 takes, and actually it was knight takes, cd, and rook c8. But I couldn't figure it out, and he played all these moves so instantly. I was sure that he knew the position, so I decided to play a move that I knew on the board was a mistake. I played queen a5, and the reason why I know it is a mistake is because after taking knight takes, there is just knight c4. I will go back and knight d5, and he has the rook. The rook will be open. The knight will be on c4. The knight will be on e5, and I cannot move anything. And I knew and understood on the chessboard that it was the best move for him. But he started with c6, and c6 was already a move that told me, my friend, we are not going to play for a win. So c6 was so strange. I knew that c6 was a mistake, so I decided to take. Actually, he was thinking that I would just take the pawn and lose my queen, but I won't. I won't. Bishop as a knight e5, and knight e4 was again pretty strange because my friends, you want to win with the white pieces, and you're just trading too much pieces. And I took, like, he played knight e5, and he left the room. I mean, probably it is not bad, but I mean, when there's only one move to play, you don't need to leave the room. And I took, he left the room, like I waited 5 or 10 minutes. He went back, and I went to the toilet. We met us in the court, and I took. I went to the toilet. I went back. He still didn't took the knight. I went back, and he then only took the knight. But it was the only move. When it's the only move and there is nothing else, like, what are you looking at? Like, are you looking at this? Like, I can just take, and you have not the time to take everything because everything is guarded. Okay, he took. I don't have only one move, and this rook c8. If I play rook there, he will just trade. No, taking first, then trading, and then it will be more complicated for me because my piece will be a bit misplaced after knight c4. So okay, I play rook c8. He took on f6. I was very surprised. I offered him a draw. He refused. Okay, I can understand. And I really thought that after taking, he played instantly taking. I saw, oh yeah, did I miss something? He took. I couldn't understand. Did I miss something? Like rook takes, e4, bishop moves, and e5? No, nothing. He took, he took. Here I took, he played knight c4, and then I understood. So actually, I understood after rook takes c8 that he just want to play a position with the knight against the bishop. But the bishop is just stronger in this position. Here probably rook d8 was the best move, but I want to keep the queen alive because for me, right now I had the opportunity to play for a win because I have a bishop against the knight, and the bishop is a lot stronger than the knight in this type of positions. So I decided to play queen 8. Probably queen d7 or queen b5 was stronger in order not to let queen d7, but okay, it is not a problem. He played queen b1. Okay, I played rook c5. Why? Because actually the best plan was just to play rook d8 in order to keep control on this file. But I just understood that probably just fighting for the king and create some weaknesses will be the best way for me to win. I was very confident in this position. I saw this, and I thought that I had a better position. He played e4, which I saw, but for me e4 was never a problem because even though he wants to play e5, then there's always some tactical reason why it doesn't win a piece. So I decided to play queen c6 in order to put my king on the correct side of the board. He played queen e2, queen e3, and the threat right now is the pawn and e5. And I saw all this when I played rook c5, and I saw that queen e6 was very strong because you cannot take the pawn, because I will play this and I will win all the pawns here, and I'm just clearly better. Probably -2 will the engine say. I didn't analyze the way yet with the engine, so I don't know. Queen e2, and I played rook c5. Why? Because I now understood that after f4, probably I will have some issues with my bishop, so I have to move my pieces in order not to get my rook trapped. And rook h5 was important to make him move the e pawn, because now e4 is a very strong weakness, and a2 is still weak because it still cannot move. So I'm pretty happy with that. I played rook c5 in order to put my rook in the correct side of the board. He played f4, the threat is a5, but okay, bishop c3, and here he was still confident, and I cannot understand why. Probably he was over-evaluating his position. It is not. It is nothing personal. It is nothing personal. I mean, really, Jacek, it is not against you, but I think you over-evaluated the position with your knight. I mean, the knight has no square, and yes, the knight is a bit active on c4, but the fact that I don't need all the squares that the knight is controlling gives me actually a small advantage, I'd like to say. Probably I'm not winning, but I'm slightly better. He played queen e3, so okay. Queen a6, we will create some more weakness and attack all your weakness. How are you defend the pawn? Okay, he played a4, okay, just go back. And now b3 has a weakness, and you cannot move your knight. So your knight is beautiful, but your knight is useless. So, and the game is not on this side of the board. If the game was here, was happening there, yes, but the game is happening there. And that is the huge differences. And now, even though you can play neither, or f5 and neither, the problem is that you lose all your pawns. And here you made a mistake. Rook f1. A rook f1, okay, you want to push f5, but after you push f5, I don't have to take your pawn. I can just go on the black squares or on c6, and everything is guarded. I control all the squares. And if you try to push f5, your e pawn is just too weak. Here we started to be low on time. Probably he had like 7 minutes. I had 15. I played rook c7, rook here, and after sorry, I'm sorry. No, I spoiled everything. After rook f1, yes, exactly. Rook c7, rook e1. Here I decided to play a move that is just rook c5, and for me the position was completely equal. I was ready to take the draw, but I already offered him a draw, so I cannot offer him a draw a second time. He has to offer. If in this position he had offered a draw, I would actually accept, because he cannot move in, I cannot move in, so completely equal. Okay, queen e3, and here I didn't have enough time. I spent 6 minutes, and I decided not to play the move rook takes knight. But rook takes knight gives actually me an advantage. I analyzed his position without the engine. My brother looked at the game online during the game, and he told me that I was just clearly better after knight takes e4. The idea is that I would just take the pawn, and I have just a pass pawn, and for me it wasn't enough because of rook c1. But I don't need to push my pawn straight away. I can just play a5, and I have 2 pawns plus a bishop for the rook, and the pawn will still be too weak, so I would just take the pawn, and he cannot defend the pawn. So really, I saw the move, but for me it wasn't enough. You know, for the engine it is, but for me it is not. And he cannot straight away take the pawn, because I would just play queen e2 and win all the pawns here. So yeah, it does happen. But I decided to play rook c7. I was really ready for the draw, but after king g2, rook d7, and I am taking control of the d file. Now I'm challenging you, and now you will have problems, because if you don't have the rooks anymore, I will just play on the open file, and I will have the bishop that is controlling the whole chessboard against your knight, and your knight has no moves. Okay, rook e3, but okay, queen c6. Right now, I'm threatening to take takes, and this. And actually, I saw a move after rook is d3. I already saw that he would like to take on c3. That's the reason why I play queen c3, because queen c6. Because after the move that he plays, taking on c6 on c3, it doesn't work just because the king is on g2. In this position, after takes and this fork, there is the beautiful queen d2, rook d2 check. You cannot take the rook, because after pawn takes, when you take my queen, then I promote your queen with the pawn that is here. And you can, and if you move the king, then I just move the queen, which we did. And here queen d6 is a cool trap. We didn't have a lot of time. I had like 3 minutes on the board. You cannot play knight c4 because I'm just playing queen d3. And after you takes my rook, after your knight takes my rook, I take your queen, king takes queen, and then I'm pushing the pawn. I'm not taking the knight because he just take back his winning. I will just push the pawn and do a queen. So it is pretty funny that he saw this. I'm pretty happy to see this. And he just played queen takes c3, but okay, f6. And right now I'm attacking your knight. And after the move that he plays king there, this is my 39th move, 38th move. I took the pawn, knight there. The threat is to come in, e5, and now rook g2. And finally, I get my 30 minutes on the clock, and I was very happy to see rook g2. The idea is that I'm threatening the pawn, and after king there, I can just put you in check and win all your pieces. But he played queen there, so okay, I'm just putting you in check, and now I will just play f5, locking my king in order to be insecure, and now I will just attack your king. And you see we have a pretty interesting position, completely winning position. After queen c3, the threat is e6. He didn't want to resign. I can understand him because I'm lower rated and so on. But after e6, you just have anything now. Like even when you move a king, like he did, you cannot move anything. h5, you still don't have any moves. B there. If you move the b pawn, I just take. If you move the knight, I just take. And if you move the queen, I just move the pawn like I did in the game. And if you push the a pawn, I play a6, and you still have no moves. So he decided to play queen a5. I played this and queen a6, and here you can see the final moves. And after all this trade, he resigned. I took on d3, and here I pushed h3, and this is completely winning. My opponent resigned. So, pretty nice game, I'd like to say. The only mistake that my opponent did was not to take the pawn on d5 that I gave him. My mistake was to forget the preparation that I made. My second mistake was to probably offering a draw too early. Actually, this is my weakness. I'm offering too much draws, and yeah, it has happened. But sometimes when I'm just feeling that it will be a long game that will in every case end in a draw, I don't understand why to play 4 more hours. Like here, for example, we played 4 hours and I managed to win the game just because I didn't offer any draw. So for me, it is a pretty cool and good lesson. Offering draw is sometimes mistakes. I didn't offer draw, I won. So I won't offer any more draws, and we will see how will the tournament go on up to this point. So thank you very much for watching this game. Thank you, Jacek, for the game. Actually, I love meeting Polish people all around the world. I'm Polish also, so it is pretty funny. Thank you very much for watching this game. If you want premium chess lectures, just go in the comment section. See you in a future upload. Take care.